welcome to another edition of Fastbreak with Tommy Lloyd, and happy holidays, everybody. It's almost Christmas time. Before that, the Wildcats have got a couple big games, and it starts Wednesday night up in Phoenix against the Alabama Crimson Tide. And, Coach, we've talked so much about the difficulty of this schedule, the challenge of this schedule, but you got to love it getting to play another big-time game.
Yeah, we're really excited. I mean, obviously, we wished the Purdue game would have had a different outcome, but you know what? We played a really good Purdue team in their backyard, and they played really well, and we just couldn't quite get over the top at the end. But, instead of getting a week off and then, sitting around trying to figure out what happened and worrying about that, we got to move on. We play a really good Alabama team. I know they've had a lot of turnover on their roster, and, this is a team that played a lot of last year, number one in the country. You watch them, it's impressive. It's impressive the effort and energy they play with. I mean, it's going to be a relentless pace on both sides, and it should provide for a really exciting game on Wednesday.
All right, when you look back at that Purdue game, was there anything in particular that stood out to you?
Well, nothing, in particular, that I think people would be interested in. I mean, a few execution things at both ends of the floor we wish we would have done better. For me, one of the unique things is, maybe you call it a timeout earlier in that game, even when we were up, kind of making that run. Just one of those games, we're on the road. It's going okay. I think we're up like 17-11, but there wasn't a media timeout because there wasn't a dead ball. I was kind of waiting for the media timeout, and by the time it kind of got around, we turned the ball over a couple times in a row and let them get back in the game. And not that they wouldn't have got back in the game otherwise, but little things like that I'm always thinking about. But, we met as a team this morning, kind of reviewed everything, and, we're excited to get on the court this afternoon and start prepping for Bama.
There's lessons learned in every game. You mentioned you learned some lessons there, and I don't want to say losses are good, but there's always things correct the guys grew up from.
Well, experiences are good, and winning and losing both provide an experience. So, like anything, we're a team that's trying to be the best we can be, the best version of ourselves at the end of the year. We're by no means a finished product, which I think is a really positive thing and exciting. So, that's how our coaching staff's approaching it, and I'm sure our players will as well. And we know we got an incredible challenge on Wednesday. Alabama has lost a few close games, but every game. They played a good schedule, and they've been up. Had a chance. They were up on Purdue, had a real chance to win it. And so we know we got our hands full, and, we're just looking forward to another great opportunity.
I guess the players probably love this part of the season. It's the holidays, school's out for a while, etc. You play a high-powered offensive team in Purdue, the same thing with Alabama, the same thing with Florida Atlantic. But how's it from the coach's viewpoint when your opposition is as good offensively, maybe as your team?
Well, it's a challenge. I think, Alabama has the number one rated offense in the country. They play, at a really good pace, so I'm interested to see how that turns out, But the challenge of playing all these good teams in a row, you run into that into a conference season sometimes. There's been years, the last couple of years where we played, a top 10 ranked SC team, followed by a top 5 ranked UCLA team, followed by a hard game of Colorado on the road or something like that. So those things happen, and so this is great preparation for us for the conference season, and we're hoping to learn from it and hopefully take advantage of some of the opportunities.
All right, well, happy holidays.
Thanks to you.
Yeah, we'll see you after a few games and a few weeks here, and the Wildcats, of course, will start conference play the end of this month on the road, so the challenges never end.
Never end. Merry Christmas.
All right, we'll see you next time.